Once upon a time, in the city of Kufa, there lived a young man named Numan. He was known for his honesty and integrity, but one small decision would change his life forever. One afternoon, as Numan walked through the streets, he passed by a lush garden. Its trees were heavy with ripe, red apples. As he walked past, he noticed an apple lying just outside the garden's wall. Without thinking, he picked it up, took a bite, and continued on his way. But the moment he swallowed, guilt hit him like a storm. "What have I done? This apple wasn't mine." His conscience wouldn't let him rest. Determined to make things right, he rushed to the garden's gate and knocked. A gatekeeper answered. Numan asked, "Who owns this garden? I must speak with them." The gatekeeper replied, "He lives far away, but I can take you to him." Numan agreed. The journey was long, but his heart wouldn't be at peace until he was forgiven. When they finally reached the owner's house, Numan humbly said, "Peace be upon you. I come with a confession. I passed by your garden and saw an apple on the ground. I took it and ate it without permission. I deeply regret my mistake and ask for your forgiveness." The owner's expression hardened. "You ate from my garden without my consent? No, I will not forgive you." "Please," he pleaded. "I am willing to pay for the apple or work for you to make up for what I've done." The owner shook his head. "No, on the day of judgment, I will stand before Allah and He will judge between us." Numan felt his chest tighten. The thought of being held accountable before Allah for a single apple terrified him. "Please, I beg you, give me a chance to make this right." The owner sighed, then said, "There is one condition. Marry my daughter." Numan was stunned. This wasn't what he expected. "My daughter," the man continued, "is blind, deaf, mute, and paralyzed. If you marry her, I will forgive you." Numan's heart raced. The weight of the decision pressed on him, but he knew what he had to do. With a deep breath, he whispered, "I accept." The wedding was arranged quickly. That night, Numan entered the room, his heart pounding. He imagined his future, married to a woman who could neither see him, hear him, speak to him, nor even move. Taking a deep breath, he greeted her, "Peace be upon you." To his shock, a soft voice replied, "And peace be upon you and the mercy of Allah." Numan froze. Did I hear that correctly? He turned and saw a woman standing before him, her eyes bright, her presence radiant. She smiled gently and said, "You must be confused. My father told you I was blind, deaf, mute, and paralyzed. But let me explain. I am blind because my eyes have never looked upon anything haram. I am deaf because my ears have never listened to haram. I am mute because I have never spoken haram. And I am paralyzed because I have never walked toward haram. My father raised me to obey Allah in everything." Tears welled in Numan's eyes. He had feared a lifetime of hardship, but instead, Allah had blessed him with a wife of extraordinary faith. That night, they shared a simple meal of milk, and their union was filled with peace and barakah. In time, Allah granted them a son who grew up to become one of the greatest scholars in Islamic history, Imam Abu Hanifa. Remember, 3 simple things can change my life and help this video go viral. Comment, like, and share. So please, take just 10 seconds of your time to do it. Thank you in advance for your amazing support.